Hello and welcome to Bricks. I'm Adam and this is Bricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Monkie Kid's Combi Mech. This is set number 80040. It has 277 pieces and I paid $20 for this set. I've looked at exactly one other Monkie Kid set somewhat recently and I enjoyed it, and part of the deal with that set is that there was a thing in the back and in the box that it could be combined with a different Monkie Kid set, and I said in that video that I was going to get that other set so I could see how they interact together and how they combine. So I have done that. This is that set. And so if we look on the back, it says you can combine this with 80041, which is Mai's Dragon Jet, I believe. And I really enjoyed that set, and I like mechs. I like the Marvel mechs, the Star Wars mechs, Ninjago mechs, and so Monkie Kid mechs probably are up my alley as well. So I decided to pick this up. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Monkie Kid's Combi Mech set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So we start out here doing a little bit of a side build, kind of a rock wall face, a little bit of terrain, sort of a catapult type thing there. And then we start working on the mech. So we start working on the torso area, which has the, those are like the shoulders and eventually kind of where the cockpit is going to be. Also sort of where the hips are and the waist area. We add kind of the front hatch or the like chest area for the torso. And then we start working on the legs. I really like how these legs were done. They're pretty much identical right to left. You could probably make them at the same time. But this had it make like one of the legs and then the feet and then the other leg and then the feet, and you connect those, and there's some good range of motion there that I talk about in the full review. And then from that we can move on to making the arms and their accessories. And again, there's a lot of similarities between the arms and the hands here. They're kind of mirrored left to right, which is fine. No super crazy piece usages, but I really like the end result a lot. And once we finish up the shoulder areas here, we can put together the accessories. So you get a couple accessories of the like big scale for the mech to operate with, which is very cool. And then we can kind of put them all together in there. And now onto my review for this set. Okay, so here we have the Lego Monkie Kid's Combi Mech. It's actually been a while since I built this, but I really like this, and it might be one of my favorite kind of mechs at this scale. It also is only the second Monkie Kid set I have ever looked at, and I know there's at least one other one. There's some new like bigger mechs that I think are really interesting, but there's also some older sets that I think are retired that I would really like to get. I just saw one called like the Bone Demon from a few years ago that sounds awesome to me and looks really cool from the box art, so I'll have to try to get that one. And the Monkie Kid theme just might be something I'm more interested in now, having built this and built one other set beforehand. So this is really cool, and there's some things to take a look at. Quite a few, if even for a set of this size. So we will get right into it, and the first thing we'll look at is the minifigures. So you get two minifigures in this set. The first one we'll look at is the Monkie Kid. So this is a really high quality minifigure. We do have the nice gold like double-sided hilt there, like the longer extended hilt. in kind of that metallic gold with a red bar in the middle as an accessory. Very cool. And this is an awesome minifigure here. So very, very cool. Looking at the hairpiece, it's dual molded with the headband, and the headband has that gold printing on it. If I pop that off, we can see the face print a little more. Monkie Kid kind of has a visor going over their face. They also have an alternate face with a different expression there, so very, very cool. They have these kind of golden pauldrons here, and then super, super detailed torso. So tons of small details, gold printing, nice accents. It reminds me a lot of some Ninjago stuff, so similar there. We do have printing on the midsection, printing on the legs, including the feet, and we have printing on the arms. Look at that. And both arms are printed. So some good detail there. There's some gold stuff kind of up under the pauldron and some little pops of color, metallic printing. So very great to get printing on the arms for this. So this has printing like pretty much all the way through. If we look at the back, we get kind of just the back of the torso there with a lot of the same kind of armor looking things, plus some extra details. I think this is an excellent minifigure. I mean, the dual molded headpiece, or like the headband with the hair, with the printing on it. You get an alternate face, pretty special one. Really great torso, midsection, and legs. Printing all throughout the legs, not on the side of the legs, but that's okay. And then printing pretty much all on the arms there, which is really, really solid. So that's a great minifigure. I think, you know, Monkie Kid, as far as I know, is the Lego Group's own intellectual property, and sometimes they are more likely to make really high quality, really detailed minifigures for stuff that's their own property versus something else, and I could probably guess why that is, but it's pretty cool. So this does remind me a little bit of, like, you know, Dreams characters, but not so much, but like Ninjago characters is the clearest comparison in my mind. And this is a really, really good minifigure. I don't know how many, you know, different versions of Monkie Kid there have been. There probably have been a lot of different ones, but I'm very pleased with this one. And then we get another minifigure here who I'm assuming is going to be kind of like the enemy or an antagonist or something. And this is an ink demon, and these are really cool too. I believe I got one or two of these in the Maze or Mize Dragon Jet Lightning Jet thing or something like that. But this is pretty great. Again, reminds me of Ninjago a little bit, but it's a black figure. But then we have the nice gold painting for the face there. We do have kind of this dark black blade here as an accessory. We also have one of these like blast things that can be projectiled out of a minifigure's hand. Face is really detailed with all that gold. Production work is pretty good. It's not too see-through or anything there. There's a little bit of like purple peeking through as well. There's no alternate face for this one because the hair is kind of just this like braided sort of thing on the top, and then like I'm assuming like shaved for the rest of it. Looking at the torso, really detailed. It's kind of like armor, but then has like these ink splats kind of like corrupting it, almost looking kind of like venomized or something, like it's got some symbiote on it or something. But whatever the ink demon's deal is in this set, or this theme, that's evident here. So very, very cool. Looking at the back of the torso, same kind of deal. We can see more of that kind of ink splatter stuff going on, and a kind of a better look, a more clear look at what the pattern of the armor will be there. So that's very good. Nothing on the midsection, nothing on the legs, nothing on the arms. Would have been great to get something there. I can't remember what the other ink demons that I've looked at have, if they just have the same black legs or not. I'm not positive, but this is still a really good minifigure. You know, it doesn't have leg printing, which would have been better. It would have upped the level a lot, but it's also not terrible, and so it's okay, but it's not perfect. And then we do have some kind of side buildy thing here, which is for the ink demon, I believe. So we have this little bit of terrain, and there's some Technic pins over here, so I'm assuming this can be attached to something, but I don't know what specifically. And we got some vines here, maybe a little bit of a rock wall or something there, and then theoretically you could put pins over here or attach this to something else. I have to see if there's a specific thing this is supposed to attach to. But then we have a catapult here. So you can see this can launch things using this this piece with the Technic pinhole there, a couple studs up top, and a little like bucket area. You add a tile to that and it makes a kind of a catapult, and the things that you're supposed to launch with it are these three just round bricks in the black there, which I'm gonna call like ink blobs or ink bombs or something, some projectile. I don't know if there's a perfect way to try to get these to have an arc, more or less. I think it might take a little bit of practice, but you can launch them at the very least, so it does function there. And I also like that you can kind of put them on here in a way that isn't going to be lost. You could have like a pile of ammunition or projectiles, somewhere near here, so you can have them ready and available for the ink demon to operate this bit here. So pretty fine side build. Uses one of these big kind of triangular plates here, and not too many pieces used up in this. We do get some of these like vine foliage rubbery pieces, which is nice. And I just like when like a given thing has like something for the antagonist or a side character or something to do. This can also be swiveled relatively easy because it's just sitting on a modified plate with the bar coming up, so it can kind of spin around on there to angle it and aim it, and maybe that can help. Maybe there's specific ways that can get this to launch in such a way that'll have kind of an arch. And then the rest of the build is this Monkey Kids Combi Mech, and this is awesome. So this is pretty small. I would say this is comparable to some of the Marvel mechs and the Star Wars mechs, but what is different here is it doesn't use the pre-bent and like static arm and leg pieces here. And what that gives us in this set is a pretty cool change, and I didn't know it was exactly possible like this. So we'll kind of go through here. There are stickers in this set. Here is the sticker sheet, so 2 number 1s and 2 number 6s. I'll point those out. We have one here, one on either flag, on the hand and shoulder, and the other side as well. So not too many stickers, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. Is this a sticker as well? Yeah. Am I missing something? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 6 are the same. Okay. So yeah, I think this is the one that's number 5. So there's also one internal there, but this is really cool because the size wise, it makes sense. It's stable. It's pretty good. It can be posed in a lot of different ways, but we have knee joints and hip joints and ankle joints. We have shoulder joints, and we have like elbow wrist kind of thing there, which is really great. So tons of cool stuff here. Starting out building this, you build the torso. It does not have the like hip rotation or waist rotation that some of the newer mechs like Ninjago mechs have. So this one doesn't have that, but that's okay. You can see we do have a place for the Monkey Kid character to ride in and operate in, and they have a little control panel in there to operate this thing, close it up like that. They're covered up kind of with the flags on the side, and I think this looks really, really cool. It looks like other mechs. The arms are virtually the same, left to right, but they're not, they don't have the identical accessories here, so I'll look at those, but the arms are done in a cool way. So we have a mixel joint in the elbow or wrist area there, and then a bigger ball joint up at the shoulder. And these pieces up here, these kind of pauldron things, are clipped on, and they have these kind of wheel well rim pieces there in the gold that are really nice. Those can spin, but those arms kind of they get out of the way. The shoulder stuff like gets out of the way when the arms move, which is always important. And so there's some pretty good range of motion, and one of the things is like cross body stuff for certain mechs. Like, can you get their arms to really like cross in front or anything like that? And this one does better than a lot of the ones with the fixed arms does. So these can move, you know, relatively far. The hand can spin all around, and that's very, very nice to see. Also, like looking at the back, this is like relatively thick here, so the back has some cool stuff going on. There's a couple studs exposed back here and a couple clips back here, which is for something else later. So both of these arms, there's not a ton of pieces in here, you know, a relatively big like ball joint brick here, a couple slope pieces, couple wedge pieces there. But a lot of the heavy lifting is done by like this shoulder piece, which is, you know, kind of its own little sub-assembly. And the hands are really good. They have 3 fingers, but they don't really have a thumb, but they have like the impression of a thumb. In my mind, it looks like they have a thumb, and where the thumb would be is a stud / tile shooter, and that's on both hands. So that really allows the fingers to curl around an accessory here, and it also just helps them look a little more natural. So I love that. I haven't seen that done in like Marvel or Star Wars and Ninjago, and some of the newer like Ninjago mechs I think really could have benefited from something like that, because some of them have only 2 fingers, some of them have 3 but no thumb, and this gives a really nice impression of a thumb. As far as can this like shoot across, like could you project one of these things across, you can get pretty close. You know, you have to turn these things a little bit, but you can get it pretty good here to shoot at an angle, you know, across the body, which is pretty impressive. And that's one of the benefits of not using those kind of bent arm and leg pieces here. So there's a good amount of range of motion there. I'll show the accessories here because you get those, and I really like them. They're not too many pieces or anything like that, but they're very cool. So the first one is this like Monkie Kid staff, and it's very similar to the minifigure accessory there. So I thought that was great. There's some Technic in here. We use some like pearl gold pieces, the red, and then it goes down to just a bar piece in the center, a gold bar piece, and that is so it can be clipped into the hand, but so it's really thin in the middle there where it gets clipped, but the rest of this is pretty thick, and it feels like the scale works really well when it's in there and kind of covered up. Also, theoretically, a minifigure could, you know, hold on to this, which I think is really funny. So that's pretty cool. They didn't use like a Technic thing or something in there. They just used the clip in the bar inside, which is also something I don't always see in mechs. I feel like in a lot of the Ninjago ones, I see like Technic pieces or pins being used in there, pins or axles or something being used in the hands to grip accessories. And the other one is this giant Monkie Kid sword here. So that's in the gold, has the red accents. The gold has a little bit of this gold tassel at the bottom, which is really cool. And again, this could be theoretically held by a minifigure, which is super funny to me and really cool. So I love the idea of like 2 minifigures fighting with these giant weapons relative to their size. So that's great. And that also means these can be easily switched around from one hand to the other, or one could be in use and the other might not be in use. So that's really good. They look good both ways, and a good range of motion on that too. So you can like get a good, you know, slashing motion or smashing motion, hitting different things, and they can cross the body. They can slash out this way. They can go down. They can come down like that. So, oops, I popped the fingers off here. So a good range of motion for these. And the only thing that I think would make it better is hip rotation in here. So that would be an improvement. But this is still a good range of motion for a mech without hip rotation because it has the posable elbows. And then getting down to the lower portion, we can see we have these ball joints here for the kind of hip area. And then I really liked what they did for the knees. So this can bend its knees here. So we use some of those ratchet hinge pieces in there, as well as like the Technic pin kind of version of that as well. And so those can be bent backwards. They can't go like forward too much just because these pieces interfere with the like thigh areas there. So we can have legs really far forward, really far back at the hips, but we can also like have this bending the legs a little bit to get in a pretty natural run position. And then we also have a little bit of like we have a mixel joint down here and a little bit of feet movement. I like how the feet were done. They use this cone at the rear to kind of make sure there's some limit there, but I believe you can I thought you could kind of, you know, rotate those around a little bit because of the piece that they're on there. And then you could maybe have more range of motion backwards. So the ankles can move a little more if you, whoops, he fell out of there. If you move this cone piece, I don't know if you're like really supposed to. I think it's supposed to kind of be a block there to limit the range of motion. But I think it's nice that you can do that so that you can like get these feet in a different position, and maybe you could add some stability and tons of different stuff. So it's good to get the feet, like ankle, knee, and hip here. So there's a good posability for these legs. I think they don't lose really a ton of bulk or like visual detail. Like some of this stuff, how these pieces have these ridges, I think looks really cool. To me, it almost looks like the impression of like springs or shocks or something like that. And they kind of, there's not too many pieces up in this kind of thigh hip area here, but the color blocking is nice. The piece choices is nice, that it makes it really work. And then like the calves and the feet are wide enough that it really make up for it. So as far as bulk goes, like visually, I don't think this is too much different than using those pre-bent, you know, pieces that Lego uses now. But I think this is, I hesitate to say that it's better, but I think it's pretty darn cool to be able to have like knees and stuff for a character like this. You might be able to get this character to like be on their knees, like the mech actually, by adjusting how the feet are there. And that's not something I really ever thought that a mech of this scale and like price point would be able to do. So they really packed a lot in here, and they had enough like piece budget for like side build type stuff, good range of motion in the arms. So I think this is one of the better mechs in this scale that I've seen kind of out of any theme here, which is really impressive to me. I would have loved to have gotten like some more like printed things. Like this one maybe could have been good printed, but it's not an obscene amount of stickers. And overall, I think this is like really cool. It maintains a lot of stability while also like it's not sacrificing any maneuverability, any like different posability or articulation. So you can have this thing be quite stable and also be able to put it on its knees or put it into running positions, or to have it use its stud shooter like across the body or different things like that, which is pretty impressive. I would say that's saying a lot for a mech of this size. I think the colors are really, really cool. And so this is a real win for me, but that's also not everything. Part of the reason I bought this set is because on the box for this one and for a different Monkey Kid set, there's an element to combine them. So let me grab that Maze Dragon. I think it was called like Dragon Jet thing. Let me grab that. So I've done a video about this one already. This is a different Monkey Kid set, and this is actually my first Monkey Kid set that I ever did. Really, really liked this as well. There was some cool posability for this, and some different things for like the characters to go in. But there is a way to combine this with the mech. So I will show that. That is kind of what's going on the back side here, so it might look a little unfinished or weird. Maybe these clips could be used to hold like the Monkey Kid accessory, the staff. I think that's good if that's an option, but there's something else here that is very, very cool. So if you remember, if you saw the video, this can unclip here, so we can get it like that, and also this can unclip up here and get it like that and do different stuff. So that means that we can, let me see here, I can't remember how to do this. We clip it on like that, and now we have like a jetpack kind of thing added to this, this mech warrior here. It does limit a little bit of the motion. It makes it way more stable because the feet rest kind of where the bottom of this kind of jetpack thing when you convert the jet into the jetpack. And actually this can come off as well, and May could be operating this, or Mai could be operating this. So there's some nice like transformation stuff that can happen here, and you can kind of move these stud shooters around. And then I believe there is a spot for May to, be in here as well. So I don't have the May or Mai figure too close to me, but I will just put the ink demon in there for now to show that. So we can have both of these kind of combined into one thing. This kind of folds over in the front, and it connects at the back with a clip piece, and it's on there pretty good. I'm not worried about that falling off, and that's super rad. That's like a really cool system here, and I think it looks awesome. It's kind of like it got a little bit of a Voltron type thing to it, or the Ninjago Ultra Combo Mech thing. It's very stable like this. You can still get it into like cool poses with this on its back, and fly it around and do like tons of different stuff. So that's really great. And like I said, this one had its own kind of like, there's a little glider here that another character could fly in on. Theoretically, somebody could be in the jet like cockpit area or facing rear, so this could have like protection from the back, and maybe these would be still pointing back, and someone could be in the cockpit here, so this could like operate forwards and backwards and stuff like that, which I think is terrific. And this is great for play, and just a really, really fun combination. And it's a big reason why I wanted to look at this mech set after I looked at that jet set. And I think both of these sets are very, very good on their own. They are really well done, frankly, on their own. And then there's the possibility to bring them together. And that's very, very valuable to me, and really cool. There's even like some nice kind of accented things with similar colors. And I just think this looks really, really rad and super awesome. And I can take this apart. So these clips just clip down here, and then like if Mai or May would stand right there, and it would kind of be protected. Whoopsies, I lost the ink demon hair. So it would kind of be protected a little bit like it's a traditional mech. And then this is super easy to transform back into its jet form, like that. We get it like this, and then we can kind of put all these in or out or whatever, and that's very, very neat. If this were to fly off, I don't know if there's a good way for this solely to interact with the the Monkey Kid Mech, but that's okay. That's kind of just another extra little side thing there. And yeah, that's really, really sweet. And I'm very happy with how like easy that was and how well it worked out and how cool it looks. So that's a big thumbs up for me on the combination of these two. So really, really cool to see that. Big fan. And I'll show the extra pieces for the mech here now, because you do get some. You actually get an extra of the Ink Demon sword and an extra of the Ink Demon like blaster there, the stud shooter, tile shooter trigger, some Technic bits, the gold bar element there, your 1x1s. These studs are the studs that go in the stud shooters. So I have the translucent red in there already. There's one in the other side as well. And then you get a couple extras. But all your 1x1s, your studs, your tiny things, your pins, all that good stuff. So good to get all of those. And this set is 277 pieces, and it retails for $20, and that's what I paid for it. You get 2 minifigures with pretty good printing, and with the little side build, the projectiles. The Monkey Kid figure I think is really, really good with the dual molded headpiece, with the printing on the arms and things like that. So I think that's a great value there. Just minifigures, and then you get a really good mech. And when I'm comparing this to like the Ninjago $20 mechs that just came out in 2024, those were really good, and I liked the system of how those pieces could be like switched throughout. And they're a little bit bigger than this, but they don't have as much range of motion because they use those fixed bent elbow leg pieces. And so this is more comparable size-wise to the Star Wars mech, the Star Wars mechs rather, and the Marvel ones, but it's a little bit bulkier and it's got a little more going on. Maybe when I look at like the Miles Morales or the Venom mech and the War Machine mech, I'll have this one ready to kind of compare it, because it is a bit smaller than the Ninjago ones that also retailed for $20, but I felt like I got a lot of good stuff here. And then you can combine it with May's Dragon Jet, which is also $20, and that's 246 pieces. You got 3 minifigures in there. They also get a little bit of a side buildy type thing with a stud shooter or a tile shooter there, kind of a little cannon. So that's really, really great. And I think both of these sets are really good value. I think they speak for yourself. It's good price per piece ratio. The minifigure quality is really good. I really think this is one of the better minifigures I've seen in a while that I'm like super happy with. So that's very nice. And I think this mech is super fun. Like all the posability, all the different play, the combination features are a real win for me. And I think $20 is extremely reasonable for this. And Lego at various points might have had these retail for more, $25, $27, $30, and this is so good at the $20 price point. I think it's a really, really good value. So after looking at this, after looking at the Dragon Jet, combining them together, I'm really interested in that Bone Demon from the Monkey Kid. I'm interested in tons of other Monkey Kid sets because they look like the value seems to be good depending on which ones I'm looking at. And it seems like a really cool theme. So it might be a theme that I'm going to be getting more into as I sort of phase out some other themes. And this has been a really good first impression with the Monkey Kid line so far, because I really liked the Jet and I really like this Monkey Kid's Combi Mech. So very, very fun. Very happy with it. And I think that's all for this. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including probably more Monkey Kid sets, as well as tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of those upcoming Lego videos. Subscriptions help me a lot, as do watches, likes, shares, comments. All that stuff helps, and I appreciate it. And if you want to help this show in another another way you can support it right here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. And I still have the Patreon. It's linked in the video description, linked on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks. And you can get access to all my videos early, as well as some exclusive stuff. And you just help support the show, so it means a lot to me, and I greatly appreciate it. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.